Hey, this is Miseryless Company, a weekly social reading series hosted by miserytourism.com. Every Friday, we welcome outsider and transgressive writers to come and share their work with us. And it's fucking Friday, guys. Can you believe it's Friday already? It always seems like it's Friday. But yeah, we're going to get started with this thing. So first up tonight is Bizarre. How are you doing, Bizarre?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Sleep deprived, but otherwise fine.
Relatable. Tonight I just have one poem and it's pretty short. So this piece is called Clout.eth. Reputation is the social art of being human. Gossip is the stories we tell, and everybody loves a juicy story. A villain and a hero, oppressor and victim. A poet enslaves himself to build their own monument. Who else is going to? Perhaps only another artist who sees you, a muse. Pyramids are made of how many hieroglyphs? How many stones does one line weigh? And how many lines does a book cost? The currency of narrative. An NFT is a social credit score badge, and we are trading Clout Coin. A pair of the new Yeezy supply shoes and someone to shop you around the scene. The way a Balenciaga handbag can be your ticket to the after party. Make yourself the product and sell yourself to the runway. Very important people are important not only to others, but most importantly, for the sake of their own characters. Breaking the backs of my neurons to build this thing. I am a manuscript, and I will be on your desk by 9 a.m. on Monday morning. Thank you.
Holy shit, Bizarre. This was great. I Listen, first of all, I need to say this. I'm a huge fan of gossip, right? But I love the way you contextualize gossip in this piece. You do something really wonderful, which is this piece starts as a kind of celebration of gossip, but then it segues so elegantly into like a discussion of art itself, right? To the point that you like dissolve the distinction between gossip and art, and then you dissolve the distinction between art and brand, art and currency, art and like clout and social capital. And that's so wonderful because I think it's easy for us to like do one of two things. Either to pretend those distinctions don't exist at all and everything's just about the art and nothing else matters, right? And to pretend that like the background noise of gossip and like social striving and stuff is just invisible and like not real. And the other thing is to become like so universally sucked in to the idea of like art as a like movement or art as a scene or art as a social experience that you um that you lose all sense of the art itself. And what you do here is so much more smart and so much more sophisticated than that, because it like forces the reader to think about those distinctions, think about those categories, and think about the way they're inherently like interrelated, and, and to draw their own conclusions. And that's what really good art does. So this is a fantastic piece, Bizarre. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Thanks. Um, so Ryan, you're up next. And I don't know,
Hello.
Ryan, the soda, I guess
I
the
don't.
soda just hit me.
I have no idea what's working right now. I'm doing this from like a psych ward after taking too many S's or I's or something. I'm just gonna try to go ahead and read. Okay.
You sound good
So
to me. You sound good
yeah,
at this point.
it sounds good. Okay. Let's hope that. Fuck. One sec. Bloop. I literally had this bookmarked and then just went to a different site. Okay. Rudy can link it if he wants, because I linked it to him. But if he doesn't want to,
Oh, I
I
have the
don't know.
link. I'll
Sorry.
put it in the chat.
Give me a sec. Give me a sec to find. This is just the prologue to the dumb web novel that I'm working on and trying to finish. And I'm just gonna read 2 sections from it once I find them on my phone screen. One sec. Okay, here we go. Rumors. The grid is legion with compods. Their enmeshment of wires laden themselves with offshoot wires in matted growth carpeting the main threads. Mixed in with the compods are Nutriservice and healing shelters. These are stocked and run by various cults that chose to call Envanities 17 of the tessellated Union home for its symbiotic existence with its own dark altar and a converse frequency planar. Of all the Envanities terraformed into being by the Union and their names deficient as his own body after being shut in as flat as Overwatch, this one is special that way. In that loop with its altar lies vast swathes of entropic energy that can be drawn by those who've chosen faith in flux, distilled, of course, in some conveyance through an editorializing prophet. They all have their own ways of working things. He finds the nearest compod, weaving through the assembled gaggle, and the closest space this living shell has is a common area, hoping no one will talk to him. You score some social depth even on any quick retreat. The floor of the grid is smooth, black marble, and his feet glide over them without noise. His reflection peering pale, he treads over without guilt. On any level of the shell, you can sway or be swayed, but it's worst here. To affect or be affected by too many at once sends echo ripples through the sky, which is the only mapping they have of the betrothen's weaving, imbued in blessing with their song and set loose to unfurl into the Cosmere's playthings. With these echo ripples, point to crew as blemish or shimmering cast on the monad. In ways dark or bright, those foul come home to roost through your own progression of sea trips. Still, how long ago did these sea trips start? If the heresiarchs know, they aren't telling. Black crows gathered like storm clouds, and then they fall from the sky. They look like crows far above, but resolve to grim specters as they descend, unable to shake some planar burn as they enter that casts themselves as shadow aura around them. Of course, that doesn't hurt them, but on some level, they're vain about it. In their eyes, there is a shine that betrays the brilliancy of their cased monads, but set off by shadow into glaring terror. His own eyes he'd known they'd seen as hollows, gaping crevici into the heart of him. Into all forms they can bleed as spirits, but never shake the dark aura. It had been beyond the shell, but once contact was made, they kept tabs on him through his dreams. In dreams, he'd see tomb worlds. He'd walk across their bleak and barren surfaces, patchworked by molten slag slabs, and always he would be haunted by them, offering nothing but a severe silence as they circle like carrion above, as if to say, eternity's scripture through time and all this. This, the sear through your monad to crook the facet, bend it out of shape for good, and these paintings of his fate had shook him into thinking some mild Indus work, and his hacking runs made sense. Even angel blood sounded okay next to the tomb worlds. It's hard to shake the case trader looks fleeting from across the faces of the low grades, as if seeing them and knowing what they mean and intend. Tells himself it's the trip. What else is there? Because the grid is so sonorous with chatter, he can't pick out phrases, can't tell what anyone's talking about. A spread of rumors, as we are known to the Archiana. Rumors spreading rumors, he thinks, all of it blending together into a single bleated thought, swollen and monstrous. If our dark altars are the hell, We must be the virtue. If I was an altar, he thinks, groping for the start screen of the compod, I would say my altar was the dark one. They don't look like we do. Maybe they're not casted, don't have to sweat it. The Union archives have too much ice to crack. He tried it, spawned a legion of arch constructs, and his rig hadn't handled it. Even as he'd seen the unfolding of many wings, the holosim imploded. A black sun blossomed through his visualis and swallowed all the light he'd amassed. The heresiarchs found him next. Kept on freeze and thaw, he'd tried to hold out. He draws a faith sign on any unreversed Archiana whose psyche might have chosen here to linger with his fingers before palming the start screen of the compod. He is in a dark space latticed with glow threads, laced in spiral patterns encircling him. The compod's adjusted for the busted phrase of his own hooded sweater, but not for his weathered white canvas sneakers. Too ragged, slivers of tear creasing the rubber of the sole like an open cut in formaldehyde frozen skin. Without the blood flow, all you'd see is the cut and the raws of the wound. The Aegis shimmers into sight, but he knows something's off. Its look is cold metallic blue, not the warm fuchsia glow they're supposed to admit in support service. His sprite still retains the end stage of his faith sign. He waves it away, finding a loose, limp posture remains of his sprite, the barest of construct, shallow skin level. Skin glowing in reflection from the Aegis light and the encircling spiral. The burn of his cheeks flickers in stabbing fuzz into the low horizon of his sight. He waits. Hacker 47697K, says the Aegis. As usual, the Aegis transmissions route through the comm for meaning not heard but translated by the sprite. Lodged in your brain on the other side is Vox transmissions. Known to yourself and others as Dell, it says. The heresiarchs have told me to express that you, as they say, have fucked up bad. He's about to ask how, but the Aegis keeps going. You let a connection creeper find the access point. He thinks of the dead Holoweb strangling his room. Shit, he says. I was primed to do everything I did. By the heresiarchs. How is it my problem? The severe glaze of the Aegis cold blue light up isn't an answer he likes. Security is a low-end problem, it says. Greater care must be taken. What kind of creeper? He says. That's need to know, and the heresiarchs have determined knowing much of anything isn't in your future. The tomb worlds, he says. Way heavy on the scales. Before this, they were the weighted end. Do you want to know what the true gravity is now? Why are N necessary? N, he says. Just tell me what I gotta do to fix this. Sirens ring, encoded into the comm triggered in obeisance to protocol. He's never seen this one though. The Aegis has lost its cold blue and its sensors flare now with a flaxen yellow. Its voice is shrill, harsh, shrieking. He winces. Preservation of C-self override declared. Monad breach detected. User in peril from higher routines. Access death required. No, he says, you can't leave me on my own with this. Monad breach. A vision. His facets seeping the sepsis of gray ichor. That streaks the facets, the glitter of diamond, and hems the whole distilled soulscape together. You could lose yourself like that to the dark. Access death set. Access dying. Aegis is gone. The black is a rushing shroud. Serrations of paler shade frame the maw as it swallows him. In the Aegis setting of routine, there is at least that. Acute a structure of the void. Pale lines his monad can trace back to the sea trip in surety that it isn't about to be disclaimed. Not like the sudden death of the heresiarch construct popping. His rig had been micro-oracular, and that had sent the cold pang of it right to his heart, in there with him. Even with that blessing, the other scrapers are all with him in the grid, staring at the start screen buzz, the port still fritzing with the disconnect. In the process of sealing over with silver wax, molten, smothering the blue-white sparks. He backs away from it, out of the compod proper, and onto the metal floor of the grid. The compod emits a 404 signal that the angel blood still in his system waxes into machine screams, piercing, abrading, and heart. The machine, he knows, would scream in silence and stillness were he not doped to hear it. He hears it even still as he leaves the grid, as all the other scrapers are staring, talking in harsh, buzzing tones, eyes sweeping, fingertips pointing out the dead pod. Do I have time to do another section? I was just going to do two.
Totally up to you.
Okay, I'll just do the other section, the next section, if that's okay. Ouroboros worm. He stews in the hall, lingers long at the entrance past curves and splits as is flat. The high-grade fluorescence burns a tallow yellow. When the light is cut like this, everyone inside knows something's happened to the shell. Some power stack is seeping away its reserves, and it's had no choice but to soften the communal glow. He thinks of it as sickness, the tint a strain of foulness, and by it the hall mottled with soft shadows. These fringe object detail. Scraggled crates of trash hardware others have passed over are fuzzed with auric outline. He thinks of being punished, of all the death he's wormed into chainsaw in sequence, a segmented insect leviathan. Only when he's sure the angel blood is out of his system does he progress into the tallow light and where it courses, chasing the turns and splits like a bedded river, him not chasing, but getting swept along. In the dim fugue of the crash, he can't hang on to detail, passes as if in fog, far away from the strewn crates and other doors of this hall of the shell. The silhouette of Hoyt is by his door, like he never left. A crackling smile, teeth dancing with sparks, teeth stained ochre of flame in the tallow light. Far away, his smile is flame. Closer, it seems to draw in light like a satellite, leave the local area shrouded in some hacked darkness. But it could be the light failing. The local area, including his room with the dead orb web inside, still shut from when he'd auto-locked it with the palm pass. He thinks to a tech mage these locks must mean nothing at all. What did you do, he says, when he's close enough. For fuck's sake. I've just been standing here, boy. You look worse than ever. Don't give me that, Dell says. You knew the heresiarchs had me looking for someone. Knows because he told Hoyt over and over, trying to stave off his warping unreality. You're not just a tech mage, you're a cultist. This is about the Archiana. He's met with a blank stare from Hoyt's sallow eyes. The lips still curl to smile, and the teeth still flash in streaks where the tar has not claimed them like snow gives way in thaw to earth. You gotta tell me, he says. The sneer becomes searching frown. Ah, you mean before. Before is a long time ago. Hoyt's eyes flit and whir. So saith the betrothed that I.65 is to be reversed. The thread has grown heavy and blocks the loom. Yes, I planted the seed. Fast extract once it knows what it's seeing. You see, it doesn't lie dormant. It dream sees. It watches. It waits. He can tell Hoyt all he wants, that any prophecy he's heard has been skewed, twisted, even made up wholesale by the grifters on the grid. The betrothed, he thinks, don't care about the union or anything in it. In their way, they don't care about the cause meter. Not enough to alter it once they have sown it. Gone to so much work. He can tell the tech mage all he wants, but it can't save him from the wolves. Still, he knows even breaching the tech mage's unreality had been too easy. An honesty sobriquet either he himself or a higher priest has woven through his monad, meaning he himself is divest of all guilt, all soul scarring. Why her, he says. What was so special about her prayer? The thrum of Hoyt's eyes is the sole reply at first. Then scab teeth, lips part, stained teeth spit out words. Brocaded. The access cut out when the seer's prayer ended. The boy did not see. Now the brocade is flickering out, word by word, and by the click of his teeth at sentence end, it's gone. The eyes resume their blank study. It's true. He hadn't seen. He'd just assumed. Assumed Zerul's jaw settled in downcast stare once more. Okay, that's it. That was just some sci-fi bullshit.
Ryan,
Thank you.
Ryan, I really dig this. And I particularly dig the first of the two sections you read because, listen, there are a lot of science fiction works that try to turn like the internet or cyberspace into like a real physical space, right? That like try to turn the act of hacking into something more than just sitting in front of a computer, like try to make it feel adventurous, try to make it feel like some kind of like real lived experience as opposed to like the rote behavior that hacking actually is, right? And a lot of times when fiction does that, either like their version of cyberspace ends up being like a kind of like repetition of our reality with a few quirks or something like virtual reality or like the fucking metaverse or whatever, something like that. Or it ends up being like like fucking Tron or something where it's like, oh, like you're
Yeah.
physically inside the computer and here are components and everything looks like the inside of a computer. And what you've done here instead is you've rendered the world of cyberspace as something like entirely alien and entirely weird and something where you can just vaguely like grok the outline of the experience this person is having, but like the terminology is so alien and weird and the experience is so like purely experiential, like so hallucinatory. And it's wonderful because it becomes like this fantastical fantasy landscape that this character is occupying instead of something that feels like too mundane. And it has is as with all of your writing, it has this wonderful atmosphere all of its own, and your use of like constructed languages and mixed with real terminology and real words that are kind of dislocated from the way you would normally think about them. It's all really wonderful, and it all comes together to form this, like, really, I said this word already, but like hallucinatory experience that I super dig, man. So thank you for reading.
Thank you so much for letting me read. Thank you for saying that. I'm like you on very little sleep. Um, I'll just
And
uh
actually,
I'll just
man,
sign off with that.
I feel bad for the conditions under which you're reading, but like the way it actually kind of added to the atmosphere of your reading to have the camera like positioned where it was
Oh
in the
yeah.
background, and the whole thing was additionally disoriented in this kind of wonderful way.
No, Ryan, that was fucking awesome. And just to add on to something that William had said, I think um your prose reminds me of the feeling that I get from playing the Zen levels on Half-Life. And fuck all you pieces of shit who think that Zen sucks because it's the fucking best part of Half-Life. So fuck whoever is on that side of the Discord. But no, it's a really like William said, like really unreal without being like computery, I guess, part of cyberspace. It's really fucking cool. It's like transportive, I guess is the word, but it's really good.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. There's someone called Daza in the waiting room. If that's anyone's friend, just say so in the chat and I'll let them in. But we're kind of midway through the night and I don't want us to get overwhelmed with trolls. So I'm not letting anyone in I don't recognize at the moment. So if you've got a friend or something in the waiting room, just let me know and I'll let them in. Anyway, thank you, Ryan, and Kat is up next.
Hi, so theme of the night, I'm also really, really sleep deprived. So bear with me. I'm gonna read two poems. The one is the one that you just linked, that went up on Bazaar Publishing House. It says 6 days ago, so let's go with that. 6 days ago. It's called Show Notes. So here's that. I tell you you're pretty, then no homo at 2 in the morning. I'm in an apartment above a garage about to burst into flames. I tell you a lot of things, opting for white hearts, the red forbidden. You're awesome as a proxy for I'm fucking attached, checking you like a sore in a mouth. still hurts. I will enjoy this anyway. There's smoke in the air, but it's probably nothing to worry about. These dreams, I'm hunting you for sport, and you like that. Blood draining from your brain down into your ego, that gorgeous organ swelling and twitching under my palm. I know you want this small edit to the food chain, breathless, blameless animal. But there's what we want and what these strange natural forces tell us to want. More warm blood flowing to the places that doom us and one day make it hurt. At 2 in the morning, I tell you everything already hurts. I will enjoy this anyway. And then I got one more, which I did a reading last night, and there were a couple that I wanted to read from my book that came out last year, but there wasn't enough time. So now you're getting my sloppy seconds, and I'm going to read this one, which is called Withdrawal Poem. If I could, I would be in your bed right now, and there are plenty of things I could be doing there, you know that. But it's late, and I see somehow, even though I can't see you through the phone, that you're tired, and this is all too much already. So what if we're only napping? You don't even have to touch me, just socked feet in the quiet darkness of your room that's somehow less quiet and less dark than the other dark and quiet rooms I've been in. The lighthouse printed sheets, the space heater by your window, the way I curl inside that small climate it creates on the island of your bed. Are you feeling hot? Then imagine a beach so wide there's an edge where even the sun can't touch you, where you can squint hard and still see nothing rise or fall with my breath. I could tell you it's okay to want that, if there weren't all this silence left to ruin. I could press my wet sponge of a face to yours, show there's nothing hard about any of these feelings. I could cut my heart out and hand feed you what's left, but it'd only bloat you. And don't you want a vacation? Don't you want to let the cool sand fill your ears, drown out all of this pesky need? It's okay. I still love you. We can talk in the morning.
So, Kat, first of all, I'm actually happy that you didn't get the chance to read this last night or the night before, whenever the reading was, because I think these two poems pair really well together. You know, like they have a very similar emotional cadence and emotional vibe, but I do want to talk about them separately nonetheless. And I want to talk about the first poem because first of all, like before I talk about it more holistically, I love that line, checking you like a sore in a mouth still hurts. And I love the way that line plays with the lines around it, because this whole poem has this wonderful thing where it's like emotional resonance will like jerk around and change, right? Where it will get like where it will get like kind of romantic, and then it will get like really like graphic and nasty, and then it will be sort of kind of get romantic again, and then it will get graphic and nasty again. And I love it because like a lot of your writing, it does a really good job of catching, and I think I almost said this to you once before, like the sensation of the human brain in motion, right? Like that sense of capturing someone in a moment of real cognitive dissonance. And you do that really well in this poem because like you get the sense in these first few stanzas of like the the sensation of wanting to say something and feeling like you can't say it, and like the ambiguity there, and wondering if it's already on some level already said. And then you get like the escalating tension. And I love like the brief image of almost like spontaneous human combustion that then gets recalled later in the poem in the smoke with the smoke in the airline. But like you flow from that back to like that sense of like real emotional tension and real ambiguity, and then to that stanza where these dreams I'm hunting you for sport. That is such a tonal fucking left turn in this poem, and I love it because it's like such a reversal of what you're expecting, because the narrator of the poem is presented as being someone who up to this point is very like it has a lot of trepidation about their feelings and is afraid to express themselves. And then like boom, in that moment, there's like this psychic transformation where they become like a ravenous animal or whatever, hunting the other person. And the fact that like those two thoughts can exist in the same poem in the way that they do is very, I think, telling of the way that like the human mind works and the way that human like social dynamics, especially within relationships and shit, can be that fragile and that malleable and that explosive, right? Or flammable, I guess, to like match the tone of the poem. So yeah, no, I love this piece. I also really dig the second poem. I don't have it in front of me, so I can't be quite as like nuanced in my criticism of it. But one thing, and also it's one of your poems that I hadn't heard before. But one thing that I recall thinking while you were reading it is you do this wonderful thing in that poem where you take this incredibly mundane space filled with these incredibly mundane details, like the bed and the space heater and stuff, and you turn it into this kind of mystical location. And you do it in a way that in no way makes the space feel less mundane. Like there's a different way you could have done it where you specifically fixated on like details about the room that have a natural romantic connotation, like the curtains fluttering or whatever, something like that. But instead, like I can't think of something more fucking banal than a space heater. Like the fact that the room has a space heater at all says something about the nature of the room, which by extension says something about the nature of that relationship. And it's like a really mundane and banal and like borderline mediocre thing, right? And that it becomes this means that allows like the room to be transfixed and transformed into this like romantic space like that you describe as being like an island or something is really remarkable. And another thing I think that you do tremendously well in your poetry, which is that like con constant tension between the like romanticized version of reality and the like the like often bleak shabbiness of reality, right? So I think these were both really great pieces, Kat, and I'm glad you read them.
Thank you.
Okay, and up next is it's Josh. Hey Josh, how are you doing? Oh, maybe Josh is still doing his laundry. It was a while ago that he
Oh
left.
wait, here I am now.
Oh, okay.
I was
Hey,
going to say, I
Josh.
just said I'm happy to be here at this reading presented by miserytourism.com, which you've added. I've noticed you've added that flourish recently
Oh, to what?
to the .com. So
Really?
yeah, because before it was Misery Tourism, and now
Oh,
you've added so it's like sunwingvacation.com. There's this jingle in Canada that advertises cheap flights to Cuba, so now it's kind of like that.
oh, I didn't know. But is it like in our Twitter or something? Did our Twitter name get reset or something weird like that? Or is it just, or am I just calling it miserytourism.com here at
You
this?
said it in your introduction.
Oh, I
Said
did. Did I really? See, this is how like sleep deprived I am, and the soda's hitting different tonight. I feel like I'm talking 3 times as fast as I usually do. This is why I can't do anything harder than this.
Oh
Anyway,
yeah.
Josh, I'm sorry. It's all yours.
Actually, William would be like the most annoying person on cocaine, I'm realizing now. Like,
Can you fucking imagine? This is why, like, even if I wasn't like 100% like straight edge or sober or whatever, I would never in a fucking million years do stimulants of any kind. I think that would be the most miserable experience possible.
oh, I wish you would, because then I would maybe seem less annoying by comparison. But so I'm gonna read continue with the auto portrait. I read a little bit of the chapter 7 last time because I didn't like 5 and 6 that much, and I liked part of 7, and I wanted to end on something that I thought was good. But I'm just gonna continue maybe a third way through 7 and probably read 8 as well. Auto portrait being the novel I'm working on. I slept through the turn of the new millennium in a motel room in Broward County, Florida. I have stubby fingers to the point where I'm self-conscious. I'm most self-conscious about my teeth, so self-conscious that, unless I'm sleeping alone, I'll pull the covers up to my nose to cover my mouth. I sometimes sleep like this by myself, too. My mom knows that my dick is between 7 and 7.5 inches when erect, depending on how turned on I am. She knows this because I made these statements out loud during an online reading she was logged into. I respond well to negative motivation, which doesn't make me a good teacher. I'm bad with names, but not faces or outfits. I'll remember what you were wearing the first time we met. Some months ago, I was standing outside of a bank waiting for the streetcar when a woman said, "Excuse me," as she walked past me to enter the building. I said, "There was more than enough room for you. No need to say excuse me." She told me I was rude. That might be true, but I was right. There had been about 2 feet between us. I was a suburban kid with a biblical name. I think the autofiction genre should be renamed Navel Gaze. I eat the top of the muffin first. My minimum enjoyable shower length is 15 minutes, with the water heat high but not scalding. I'm directionally challenged. I'm a bad liar, but most people are poor judges of truth or believe what they want to hear. I competed in the 2007 Canadian Open Chess Tournament at the 4-star Ottawa Marriott Hotel. It wasn't my finest showing. I placed 205th out of 280, finishing below many inferior, lower-rated players. I don't take issue with literary works for containing many references to other works, but I think a fictional text should be able to stand on its own. Any references to other texts should only add to the reading experience and not be a requirement for enjoyment. I hold my utensils in a fist, though my table manners are otherwise decent. The phrase, "everything looks like a nail when the only tool you have is a hammer," really resonates with me. I am a Pushcart Prize nominated writer because I said so. I've got a coffee maker in my apartment, but on days when I'm working from home, I'll still walk to a nearby cafe 3 separate times for coffee. I say a cafe and not which one specifically because I rotate out of embarrassment, refusing to visit the same place 3 times in a single day. As of December 30th, 2023, I have $31,521.29 in savings. I watch 2 to 3 movies per year. People conclude that my aversion to film is rooted in my being a book snob, but I totally respect the medium as an art form. It just doesn't appeal to me much because movie making depends on the talents of many, whereas I like the singular vision put forward and executed in novels. In no particular order, my 10 favorite movies. 28 Days Later. The Weatherman, starring Nicolas Cage. A Quiet Place. Doctor Strangelove. The Happening. Inglourious Bastards. Jurassic Park. Cube. Fight Club. And the first half of I Am Legend. I'm perpetually late. I feel fortunate to be part of the last generation that got to experience childhood without the internet and the first generation to come of age with the internet. I excelled at long distance running in grades 7 and 8, but not sprinting. I am such a stereotypical Aries that I almost believe in astrology. Almost. Alex Kazemi did not respond to my last email in which I advised him on how to save his Wikipedia page from deletion. English is my only language. My jaw is typically slack. I graduated from the journalism program at Humber College Institute of Technology and Advanced Learning with honors in 2014. Odds are I'll never get a tattoo if I haven't already. Okay, next chapter. I want to know if there's a way to share a screen because I have some multimedia content and I see here that there is a share screen.
Yeah, if you hit the share screen button,
And it won't let you do a specific, that's fine.
well, it should let you choose a specific tab to share.
Really, it's
Oh,
just the
maybe
whole
not.
screen
It's
is
showing your
now.
whole desktop. Okay.
Sweet. Hopefully I've been careful.
It may be different on Mac, but usually there's a way to share a specific tab.
All right, so we have the this is cumbersome. Anyways, it's necessary. Yeah, that's fine. You can see the chessboard, yeah?
Yes, perfectly. We can
Okay.
see the chessboard and we can see the document.
So I will probably unshare after this section of the chapter. So this is chapter, geez, I've done this in Roman numerals and I don't even know Roman numerals, but I think that's 8. As a competitive chess player, I had to memorize numerous openings and traps. The most satisfying for me to employ over the board was the following line in the Smithmore Gambit, which was my standard response to the Sicilian defense. E4, C5, D4, C takes D4, C3, D takes C3, Knight takes C3, D6, Knight F3, Knight C6, Bishop C4, A6, E5, D takes E5, Queen takes Queen, Knight takes D8, the Queen, Knight D5, Knight E6, Knight B6, Rook B8, Knight takes E5. From this position, I learned through study, black doesn't have any good way of stopping white from playing knight takes f7. For example, knight f6, knight takes f7, king takes f7, bishop f4, winning the rook because the knight on e6 is pinned to the king. As a sort of party trick, I've played out this line in the Smithmore Gambit to the above position, relying on memory only. Anyways, I have 23 pairs of Calvin Klein boxer briefs. I regularly end emails with anyways as a complimentary close, foregoing more traditional sign-offs such as thanks, sincerely, or best. When a girl is riding me, I like it if she reaches back with a hand and plays with my balls a little bit. I'm reluctant to admit this, but I have never voted in an election for any level of government. Basically, I have never voted in an election for any level of government because I agree with Louis Ferdinand Céline, who wrote, "I have never voted in my life. I've always known and understood that the idiots are in a majority, so it's certain they will win." My girlfriend's ex-boyfriend said I was, quote, "a shrimpy little tadpole of a man," unquote, when he found out about me. For whatever reason, the nickname is stuck. I miss having a lawyer on retainer, or maybe I just miss tweeting about it. Same thing, I guess. I feel the urge to take a moment to apologize to Gary Barr, the first friend I made after I transferred to EJ Sand Public School in grade 7. I threw him under the bus the second I had the chance to make other more popular friends at his expense. He smelled bad, and I ruthlessly capitalized on this. Mosquitoes don't tend to bother me, which has led to jokes about how my blood must be toxic from drinking and junk food. I read 53 books in 2023, or 54 if you count Happy Hour by Marlo Granados, which I finished on January 1st, 2024. I use a tar-based shampoo to control my dandruff. I wasn't any good at tetherball on the playground. At a Japanese restaurant, I'll be the one to ask for a fork and knife. The first 4 to 5 times a woman squirted on me, I didn't realize it might include piss. Water sports aren't my thing. A Saison is my beer of choice. If the bar doesn't have a Saison, I'll take a wheat beer. If the bar doesn't have a wheat beer, I'll settle for something generic, like an IPA. My classist tendencies betray me. The phrase, "you can have your cake and eat it too," confuses me. What else would you do with the cake? All of my shorts fall well above the knees. In 2022, I took a 10-hour bus ride and crossed an international border to read my fiction in front of maybe a dozen people for 6 minutes in Brooklyn. I've always thought the name Josh Sherman was boring, like the Jewish equivalent to John Smith. Worse yet, it's so common that no matter which field I pursue, there is certain to be a Josh Sherman established in it already. I don't know how vanilla became synonymous with boring. I think it's an underrated flavor and possibly better than chocolate. To be truly comfortable in bed, I require half a dozen pillows minimum. I hang my clothing out to dry, except for socks and underwear. I apply moisturizer daily. My family barred me from attending sex ed class in grade school. I'd kill myself if I went blind, lost a limb, or suffered from a disfigurement. I'm writing this to keep myself accountable should the time come and wondering if this makes me ableist. I'll intervene on behalf of a customer service worker if another customer is being rude to them. Having worked low-wage jobs until graduating from the journalism program at Humber College Institute of Technology and Advanced Learning with honors in 2014, I haven't forgotten what it's like to work a thankless job like that. My love of animals makes me want to become a vegetarian, but I have enough trouble eating anything resembling a balanced diet without putting that kind of restriction on myself. I neglect to read the other pieces and print issues of literary journals in which my work appears. At home, I piss sitting down. Unless I want to grow a unibrow, I need to routinely shave above the bridge of my nose. I'm just as surprised as you are that nobody has ever thrown a drink in my face. Because I wasn't born with good teeth, I take extra care to thoroughly brush 2 to 3 times a day with an electric toothbrush. I lose considerable respect for someone if they botch the phrase, I couldn't care less, by saying I could care less. I've accomplished almost everything I wanted to in journalism, except for earning a byline in the New York Times. Of my 23 pairs of Calvin Klein boxer briefs, the vast majority are black, navy, blue, or dark gray because it grosses me out how skid marks show on lighter colored underwear. The scar on my chin is from falling on my face while learning how to skate during a childhood trip to an outdoor rink, likely Mel Lastman Square. My previous attempts have been at hockey rinks where there were boards to grab hold of. First thing in the morning, I listen to club music. No, I won't attend your solstice party. And that's the end of chapter 8.
Josh, I dig this. I like what you're doing with these pieces. These 2 chapters in particular, like I feel like you're getting like looser with the format, like you're giving yourself more like you're giving yourself permission to go beyond the strictures you originally set for yourself when you were doing this, right? Like there was a real definitive kind of like back and forth rhythm to the first few where like it was like, oh, okay, this is what Josh is doing. I get it. And those were really good. But what I really enjoy about this is like these 2 chapters is that you've really like found the ability or the will to start breaking those conventions, even in the middle of the work, even just a few chapters into the work. And I really dig that. I love what you did with the chess moves. Like, not even the way it appears in the text, but the way you presented it here, where you actually played out the moves for us, was really awesome, I think. And I need to say, there were multiple things in this set of you know statements or selections or whatever that resonated with me personally, and some of them I will I'm not going to say here, but one that I have to agree with you on openly is the vanilla ice cream thing. First of all, I don't like chocolate ice cream. Fuck chocolate ice cream. Chocolate ice cream tastes like fucking chalk. It's disgusting. But like a really good vanilla ice cream where you can really taste the vanilla and it's not just white sugar paste. Like that flavor is better, I think, than a lot of more like quote unquote like complex or novelty
Oh,
ice cream flavors, you know?
100%. It bothers me when people say vanilla sex. It's like I want to have vanilla sex endlessly. Fucking Good Missionary is amazing. Like fuck anybody who says otherwise.
I well, Fair enough. Fair enough. So,
Maybe you don't agree with that point, but anyways, the
hey, I no, I'm not going to comment on that point, Josh. There's a difference between disagreement and an unwillingness to comment. But no, Josh, I love these. There's so many. Oh, I have to talk about the pushcart thing too. Uh, the way you like skewer the pretension of a push cart is like wonderful. As someone who has like Schrodinger's push cart because fucking Stu Buck like said he nominated him for a push cart, but who
Yeah.
knows? Like, did he? Did he not? And I'm not gonna go and try to find out because I don't give a fuck because I actually think it's funnier to have like Schrodinger's push cart because it's fundamentally such a concocted joke prize, like giving yourself a blue ribbon or something that I love that you've taken it to its absurd extreme here.
Thanks. And not a blue check, because that was serious back in the day. But no, I've started retweeting every time I see a prize, I retweet and just say I'm thrilled to have like been nominated for like X. And the people who like it, I can tell are earnestly liking it and not realizing. But there was one the other day, and it was like a lit journal, and their post about it literally had like a graphic with the 6 names, of which mine wasn't one. And I almost tweeted it, but it was such a small prize that it just seemed like bullying. Do you know what I mean? Like I didn't want to.
Oh
But I
goodness.
tagged Pushcart and I tagged the fucking microfiction one, and I'm just like waiting for somebody to say like to take offense to this. But thanks for that. Yeah, the form thing is interesting to me because I still want it to be like largely declarative sentences about myself. But I spoke earlier about not wanting to be too derivative, like of LeVay's auto portrait. Like I wanted it to be a bit my own, and that stuff started to creep in naturally. And I was like not going to keep a hard rule. I mean, how silly would it be to keep a hard rule about like a project like this anyways? Like I still
Right.
want it to majority be something, but I think there's room. You would encourage me to continue and not be worried about being derivative. And I think one of the ways in which it won't be derivative is if other elements like that and certain timestamps and almost like diaristic kind of elements creep in, I think is fine. But you notice, so I mean, clearly it's obvious, but seems like it's working. So thanks for
Yeah, I
providing
think
it.
so.
Thank you to miserytourism.com for providing me with a venue to read this ongoing project.
I'm
Yeah.
glad you picked up
I
on that, Josh, because I'm fascinated that I did that, and I have no idea why I did that. Maybe I'm encouraging people to go to the website. Maybe something will happen on the website one day. Who could say? Sorry, Ruth.
Oh,
Yeah, so
that
I
was
want to
my
say something
first
about
one.
the chest part. What
Oh
in
yeah.
what inspired you to use that maneuver there, that gambit, that particular gambit, in the with this piece, you know?
I think because it's actually funny. I got Life the User's Manual by Perec, and and I saw it had chess diagrams in it, but that was after I'd written this.
Hmm.
But anyways, that's the book that LeVay really credits in his auto portrait. But
Okay.
I think it's literally because of the line after where I say I've used it as a party trick. Like I've been
Oh,
incapably
okay,
drunk
yeah.
at a party and someone has a chessboard and I'm trying to play out this like 13 move combination and
So
kind
you,
of fucking it up at first and being really annoying. And part of the
yeah.
thing with this project is about like I want to write something that like it's like, it's not a conversation starter, it's a conversation stopper. Like I want there to be
Hmm.
nothing someone could possibly ask me and to reveal every possible small annoying thing about me and portray it all. And I'd be curious to know once I finish it what someone could possibly ask me. So this kind of falls in line with that.
I see. No, that's cool, and I like the fact that you use the memorization element of that, the opening, and that shit along the way it dovetails into that. Oh, the party stopper thing, basically. The idea of
Yeah,
like,
it
hey,
is a
like,
party stopper. It's for
yeah,
sure a party stopper.
that's super cool, dude. Like, yeah, just the demonstration on the board, I think, adds something to it. Or are you gonna? I don't know what format you were planning
Yeah,
on putting this.
in the manuscript there's 2 diagrams. It's like the starting position of the Smith Mora and then the position just before the knight quote unquote
Mhm.
sacrifice. Yeah.
Gotcha, gotcha. No, that was a cool element.
Thanks. And I'll let the next person go on now, but I just wanted to share actually, Rudy, because I was going to DM you that I found an article and I'll share it with you, but it just made me think of you so much. It was like I was thinking about the glory days of Vice because they actually really put out good fiction issues and other stuff.
Oh yeah.
But from 2014, is the Romper Stomper soundtrack the best racist punk ever performed by non-racist session musicians?
Yes.
And it absolutely is. That if you don't know the response,
Well, the
send it to
best
you.
nominee. Yeah. Yeah.
That actually works its
Oh,
way into my auto portrait, but I'll that's in the future chapter. That album I have yeah, pretty close to it.
fucking awesome.
All right, well, thanks everyone.
Yeah, thank you, Josh. And I just got a winter storm warning on my phone, so fingers crossed we make it through before my power goes out. I hope it does, man. If I would hate to have my power go out and lose the recording of this reading as a result. So let's get this thing finished in a relatively timely fashion. Not that I don't really think there's any threat until like 11 or so, if I remember correctly. But yeah, thank you, Josh. Is Gianluca here? Is Gianluca here? I don't think Gianluca is here. So I'll move him to the end of the night and give him one last shot then. Jan, did you have a piece? Did you end up writing a piece for Rudy to read? Are we warging into Rudy tonight or not? He was here, Jan? Oh, huh. Okay, well, I'll move him to later in the night and then he
Oh, yep. It looks like a piece is coming through right now.
oh, here we go.
From Jan. Oh boy. Jan. I'm not sure which. So this is called this is Jan's piece, and it's called Malkovich_piss.exe. There is more of the sublime in any random DeviantArt crayon fetish drawing of cannibal anthropomorphic aircraft than in whatever it is that the people who write for the New Yorker think is good. True sincerity only comes from autism with a Z. My nickname growing up was the retard. Kill pretension, kill people who write for others. I want to collect chicken bones and postage stamps. I want to be a problem that people have to solve after I die. Like, what do we do with all of this worthless garbage? I want people 1,000 years from now to read me and get confused. The world is changing, and I picked the wrong medium. Mycelium UAP in Iraq, or UAP in Iraq, sneaking through U.S. military bases, robots making art. I picked the wrong medium to work. The world is going to be unrecognizable 10 years from now. I am deeply excited for the future, because in the future I can say, computer, generate me a fully realistic John Malkovich. Computer, increase piss volume by 10%. Computer, run malkovichpiss.exe. Fuck yes, piss.
Is that I'm not interrupting you, right? That's the end.
That's the end of Malkovich_piss.exe by Jan.
Jan points out piss comma is the last line.
Oh, piss comma. Okay. Yeah.
Jan, I love this, Jan. I I'm smitten with this piece. First of all, before I say anything else, I have to say I fucking love that line. I want to be a problem that people have to solve after I die. There is so much latent there. It's one of those wonderful sentences that seems like so abstract, right? Seems like it doesn't say anything, but immediately, viscerally conjures an image of a type of person, of a type of human being. Like, because immediately my mind was filled with thoughts of like hoarders and people with other like mental health conditions that lead them to lead their life in disarray at the end. And so that line I loved, and I I love the like nihilistic technological, excuse me, optimism of this piece. You don't see much writing in that vein. Like Rudy and I, and Rudy can vouch for this, have had lots of conversations about this. But usually what you see is you have pieces that are like dystopian about the potential of technology, like, oh, AI is going to replace us, like it's going to be doomsday, what the fuck ever, or pieces that are like pure, unvarnished, utopian technological optimism, where it's like, no, like we're gonna have fucking what's the technology? What's it, Rudy? You would know the thing in Star Trek that allows them to just like create food out of thin air and
Yeah, the fabricator or whatever.
thank you, the fabricator. Like we'll have like tech that will solve world hunger and that will like solve all of humanity's problems. And what I love about your piece, what I think is like so psychologically astute and true to the way that humans actually behave, is you're like reveling, excuse me, in the like depraved potential of this technology. The way this technology will improve our lives in ways that people don't want to talk about, but that people will definitely indulge in more than they're going to indulge in like fabricating like an Earl Grey tea like Picard would do or whatever, like, and that willingness to simultaneously look at the dark and depraved side of human nature while also offering what is ultimately a kind of oddly optimistic view on that potential is, I think, unique and very effectively done in this piece. So thank you, Jan. I just want to read this for the record, although I'll regret reading it after I do. Jan says, my deep optimism at the future of AI-generated celebrity deepfake piss play pornography is a part of me that I don't show just anyone. Well, thank you, Jan. You've given it to the world now, and the world is a better place for it. Um, so, uh, so that's it for Jan. I believe Cletus signed up, but I think he sent me a message mid reading that he had to go, and I don't see him here. Yeah, I don't see him here. I could be wrong. Is Gianluca here? I don't see Gianluca here. So I think, and I know Rudy has a piece he wants to do at the end of the night, but I do think it's relatively early, and we do have enough time to do one or two open mic pieces if someone has them. This isn't a position where I'm begging for them or anything. This is just me saying, if you came here hoping to read a piece and you didn't sign up, say so in the chat now because there's enough time for you to read a piece. And if not, we will move right on to Rudy's piece. Just waiting a few seconds here to be sure. Okay, I don't see anything up. Oh, yeah, Adam, absolutely.
All right, I'll just read one. Should I put it in the chat?
You can if you want to. It's up to you.
I don't know how.
That's okay, man. That's okay. You're good. You're good. You can just read it if you want.
All right, it's called Larson Subscribes to the National Review. Bo diddly, do I want the news or the punch? Lit, I will. Not fucking settling for the goddamned Rocky Mountain Canary. All of this, says Larson, and he digitally tips some silk broad barista plenty. He flexes in a mirror, is sad. At home he finds Simon, not simple Simon, Simon the apple pusher, the special shusher, in a word, his love. They slam into a sleeping bag and wrap themselves up tight and waxy to a rag. Then they simmer down. You see, Simon is a sort of, well, sidekick who was then kicked out. It's complicated, no yields, therefore roundabout. A junkie tune. Larson is dangling a dipper mouth with Simon gone north, Larson south. So it goes, to quote Air. One more to make things even Steven parenthetically. Alone with a bone, Larson types and types, pours granddad whiskey, draws his 38 snipes, but then reckons reading material and URLs to happiness, or at least an online payment. He wants to know about the war and wars, and so subscribes for mores. A staple-bound forthcoming thing. Well, that's that, Esquire. Now Monday, having come Sunday, to a man, the unhappy office days, apparently, it needn't be. Plus Larson gets a gov check and sings merrily. When he does tear it open, he blows it on speed and cock. Days, weeks, months pass, just like your calendaring, the sad Ansel Adams one. On what day of the week is your birthday this year? Oh dear, I don't know, dear. It's not listed, and your very face is fading like a movie in a lake. It's time for the institution. And the memes. Now open up, this time silently. That's it.
Adam, I love this. I fucking love this poem. And thank you, Jeff, for putting the link in the chat. What I really dig about this one in comparison to your other Larson poems is this one has almost like a nursery rhyme vibe to it. Like in terms of like you're actually utilizing rhyme here, but you're not like it's not like a rhyming poem, right? Like with all the like insidious connotations that has. Instead, this has this like childish sing-songy nursery rhyme quality, but that's like within the poem itself, juxtaposed with the usual kind of like hard-bitten ugliness of Larson's life, right? And the way that that dynamic plays in the poem is, on the one hand, like just really fucking fun, just like authentically really fun, but also creates a sense of like, to use a term I used earlier in the night, like cognitive dissonance about the poem, where like it puts you, even as you're like enjoying its sing-songy quality, it's putting you ill at ease. And oh man, it's so good. It's so good. There are so many like great instances of this. The like draws his 38 snipes. I love that. I don't even know why I love that moment, but I love the rhythm of that line. And there's so many lines here. We're just like on a like syllabic level, the rhythm of the lines themselves is just like so perfect. And so I just it's gorgeous shit, Adam. It's great shit. Thank you for sharing.
Well, thanks for letting me reading it.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
that draws the 38 snipes line is really good because it reminds me of like you're sniping at intrusive thoughts, basically. That's what I thought, in your head because you're pulling it. I don't know.
like Elvis shooting the television or something.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I
That's
was
what
just
the
using
vibe.
it as like a slang for like sniper, like an aiming.
Yeah, well, that's
Or
what I was saying. But
attacking.
you're like aiming at your own
Right.
intrusive thoughts. That's what I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
thinking. That's awesome though. I love it. That's got good bad vibes. Yeah.
All right. I don't see any, no one else said. I just want to make sure that I didn't miss anything. Um,
Oh,
nope, I don't see anyone else saying that they want to read. So, Rudy, I think the floor is yours, and you have a game for us, I think.
actually, Jan may have just sent me something else.
Oh no. Oh no. Uh-oh. Here we go.
Oh, he said. Oh, but Jan
Oh,
says in the chat. He won't.
he
Okay, I don't
canceled
know.
the warg. He warged
He
into
can't.
you and then out of
Being
you.
worked out. Oh no,
Oh no.
that's like fucking traumatic or whatever.
That's like what fucking scrambled Hodor's brain, right? Like not to
Right?
spoil Game of Thrones, although who would care since the last anyway, it was
Yeah.
bad, but yeah.
Hold the door, right? So I'm gonna demo a game called Highliner Chess. It's a chess variant, which I'm sure nobody really gives a fuck about, except maybe one Josh Sherman, if he is still here. Oh no, did Sherman leave?
No, I don't see Josh.
No, Josh Sherman,
No, we lost
no.
Josh Sherman. Maybe
Rip.
he'll be back though, because he usually if he's
Oh,
leaving,
okay.
he'll say, "I'm leaving," like not necessarily
Yeah,
like
yeah,
he'll tell the chat, but yeah, all right.
maybe. Okay, well, Jan Stanek has offered to play in Sherman's place, which is good. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. I guess I could. This has networking, so I could technically do it, but I don't. I could just give over a link or whatever, and we could play that way. But I'd rather share the screen just so that it's because you can just play on the same screen basically. There's no hidden information, so just share the old screen here. Let's see. I only want to share that one. Optimize for video. Don't share the sound. This is some truly goofy bullshit. Yeah, it's on the Misery Tourism itch. So, okay, so let me get into a game here. I'll call the game chess. Really fucking sucks. I don't know. This is the board here. So just so I don't forget my own fucking rules. The basics of this is it's a game board. It's chess as normal, but it's Dune themed. Thus the Highliner. The Highliners being the ships in Dune that fold space. And in this game, there you go. Oh, hey, somebody just moved. Oh shit. Oh, somebody got into the. Oh, okay, well, fair enough. So I guess Jan is playing red. Fair enough. Okay. So or somebody is playing red. I'm not sure if it's Jan. Let's. Well, I'll just go with it. Oh shit. Okay, there's pieces moving around here. Well, let me. I'm gonna turn on the SFX because those look really cool. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So anyway, the board folds. So while Jan is doing that, I'm gonna fold the board then. Cool. Hey, oh, so the pieces are gone now. What? Because the board just folded over on itself. So now, whoever you are, if you want to move to that board, you can. That's like the other side of the board. So you have space, which is this side of the board, and you have Dune or Arrakis, which is this side of the board. This is the sandworm right here. So cool. I'm gonna fold the board again. And now the mystery player has moved again. Oh, they moved their piece off of Arrakis, so they're not going to fold with it. So I guess all the pieces are still on this side of the board. Yep. Oh, somebody moved the worm too. Okay. Cool, cool. So, oh shit, it's captured. No idea how that's happening, but oh shit, those pieces are gone. Some pieces just disappeared from the fucking board. Oh no. I am not in control of myself at this point in time, or this board. So yeah. So yeah, I'm not sure if I should bother to explain the rules beyond the fact that basically this is a real mindfuck of a game because you have to keep track of the pieces on this side of the board, which is like the front of it, and also the pieces on the back side. So if I can, I'm going to try folding the board real quick. And now I'm going to move my king, which is the Harkonnen dude, I guess, onto the board. That's what I'll fold from this side too. I'm going to move my Mentat, which is the bishop or whatever, onto the other side of the board. And once that goes through, the board will unfold. And all those pieces are on this side of the board, you see. So that's the main crux of the game. Is that so like if I were to say, let's say I had a piece, I had moved some pieces down this way or whatever, move my queen down here, then I could do a super like still let's move the queen. I'll say I move the queen here eventually. I'm not sure if this is gonna line up, but I could do like a super stealthy surprise attack here, fold the board, and all of a sudden that piece is there, and could in theory move out and strike this piece if it weren't my own piece. But let's say that was the queen or something, you could definitely come out, and so yeah, that could put pieces in check or do like different shit. So it's basically like a super mind fuck, fucky chess, basically. So I don't know. Does anybody want to actually play a real game here, or yeah? Because I can reset the board.
Jan, play a real game with Rudy.
If not, that's fine.
Who wants
Yeah,
to
I
go
can
one on
read.
one with Rudy here? How do you reset the board? Jan,
I
Jan.
just reset. I just reset the board. But yeah, if not, that's fine. I mean, but
No, Jan says I can
that's a
do
basic.
this. Jan says he can do
Okay.
this.
Okay. I don't know if you're still in the game, Jan, or if that was even you. I'm not sure. I'm afraid to check the chat because
Jan
somebody
says
could be
he's still in
sitting.
the game and it's your move.
Okay. So I'll do. You'll be red then, Jan, or blue? Which one do you want? Doesn't
Jan's
matter.
red.
I don't.
Jan says
Red. Okay. Okay. So I guess I'll start her off here. Do do do. And on your turn, you can move or fold the board. And I don't know what kind of device you're on, Jan, but you figured out how to move the pieces. But you can fold the board if you just drag the edge of the board. You can actually fold the board in that direction. So I'll show you how to do it here. So if you're on this side of the board, I don't know if you're on a PC or like a Mac or whatever, but you can fold this way if you just drag from the edge of the board like that. So I'm going to do that on my turn, and on my turn, I'm going to move this Mentat here. And after 2 folds, the board will unfold, and those pieces will go to the other side of the board, which is Dune, as we've seen. Oh, I saw something there. Oh, maybe that was me. Jan is a real chess strategist. Oh shit! Oh, Jan's moving to Dune there. Okay, so I'm gonna turn on the effects because I like the effects and they're really stupid. And you can see the cool little Edric guy in the dancing in the center. So yeah, so I'm gonna fold the board again, and what I want to do is probably fold it. I'm gonna fold over Jan's front line here. Cool. So now I'm going to move another piece. I'm gonna move my queen over here, and that means the board in 5 seconds will unfold. So we'll wait for that, and those pieces go to Dune, I believe. So now it is Jan's turn. And also, if you click up here, Jan, you can go to the other side and move this shit around. So if you move the worm, the only rule is that you have to keep the worm adjacent to the other worm segment. So if you move like right there or whatever, just keep it adjacent to the other segments. That's pretty much how it works. Oh, and the worm doesn't respect check, so you can just kill the king or whatever instantly with the worm if you move it one of its segments over top of the king. That's a pretty important rule that I probably should have mentioned. Oh, he moved. Okay. So I will match that. I should get my king onto Dune, but now I'll just leave it at that. Here go, Jan. I might have already really fucked this up because I'm really fucking bad at normal chess. And this adds complexities that normal chess doesn't even have. So cool. Oh, a fold. Okay. Oh shit. Okay. Interesting. Now the rules say you can fold once on your turn, and then you have to move a piece. Okay, and I think you just moved a piece. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to get well, actually that's really stupid. Why did I do that? What I'm gonna try to do is I think move this way. Look at that. Okay, so that didn't do exactly what I'm gonna try to get this guy over here. Now board's gonna unfold. 2, 3, 1. Okay. All right. So that guy is now in a different position on Dune. Look. Yep. Okay. So I didn't hit the worm. That's good. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. But yeah, if you're a chess player, this game is basically like chess but more fucking retarded because you have to memorize even more positions because there's 2 boards. So I guess that isn't much of a pitch for the game, but I guess I mean, the physical version of this could be really stupid because I tested the physical one and basically it's like this, but because a physical piece of paper folds differently. Oh, did you move, Jan? Okay, let me just pull up the chat. Plans within plans. Yeah. Oh, I can't. I don't know if that's now or is that later. Okay. Oh shit. Okay, I'm gonna assume Jan moved. I guess. Oh, Jan may have moved the worm. Actually. Oh no, I don't know. Okay. Either way, I don't know if anybody, if William can keep track of the chat to see what, if Jan, I don't
Yeah,
know.
no, I've been watching. Jan hasn't said anything since
Oh, okay.
your plans within plans. So
Gotcha. Okay.
maybe Jan ran to the bathroom, or maybe Jan is
Could be.
concealing his ill intent here. Nope,
It could be.
I'm waiting on. Oh, he's waiting on your move.
Okay, gotcha. So Jan, okay. Okay, so what I'm gonna try to do is try to get my fucking king over to Dune here because that's what I want to do to protect my king. Ooh. So I should probably move him here. And it's your go, Jan. Do, 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 do. Okay, that's pretty good. Oh, yeah, let's secure some stuff on. So at least you'll have some pieces on Dune. All right, I'm gonna fold again, just a short fold. And then I'm gonna try to take this Mentat Bishop or whatever to Dune. That will unfold the board in 5. All right, so there we go. So my king is off of off world now. Let's see what we can do. Interesting. That's a good move. He took that piece. Or oh, I guess there wasn't a. That's right. Oh, if everything was gone there. Oh shit. Okay, that's interesting. Huh. So what I'm probably let me just check the other side real quick. Yeah, I'm gonna move this worm away from my piece, so that'll be my move. You can go ahead, Jan. Okay, I'll get rid of that piece because it's captured. Oh, he's just gonna wreak havoc and destruction in my ranks here. I don't know what I can really do about that. I guess these pawns can capture backwards too. They can move backwards or forwards. So I could technically capture that. We'll just see where it goes about that. So okay, so I'm gonna go to Dune, and what I'm gonna try to do in a really fucking stupid way is try to position my king. Because you see these squares in the center here? If your king and at least 4 other pieces occupy those squares, so if all these squares are occupied and your king is on one of them, then you win. As long as you have, they're occupied by your pieces or the standworm. So that would be like, that's like an extra win condition. I'm gonna try to do that. But yeah, so you go ahead, Jan. Oh, yep, that piece is captured. Okay, so I can, if you want, I'm just gonna pull your piece aside real quick, Jan, and capture this piece. Yep. So okay. So there's my king. Okay, I don't know how my king got there. That's interesting. Uh-huh. Damn, there's some trickery going on here. That king's not supposed to be. Oh shit. Oh no, he's captured. Oh no. Oh no. What the hell happened? That king shouldn't. Oh shit. Okay. Huh. Interesting. Well, that shouldn't have happened, but yeah, so I guess that would be the game, I guess, because my king just got destroyed somehow. Oh, Night Forest. Look, pulled him out. Dude. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure how that happened. I guess they got bugged out or something. But yeah, basically, yeah, let's try reset here real quick. How about this? Instead of playing on two machines here, I could just make all the moves for everybody. That would probably be easier. So I'll let Jan start it off again. I'm the Modib, yeah, exactly. Pulled shit out of nowhere. I literally crossing space up here. Okay, so you did. Okay, gotcha. All right, so I'll do this. Do. Yeah, I mean, okay, yeah, that's okay. That's a good move. I'm gonna try to probably again. I'm gonna try to get my king on 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm gonna try to nullify those two. Just pull them under. Because those go the other side. Now I'm gonna try to get my king out of harm's way onto the other side. So Jan, you can fold or move, or both. I mean, you can. Okay, oh, there you go. Okay, great. Okay, so now I'm going to fold again. Do that. Move this Mintot onto there, and we'll wait till that settles out. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe it just didn't wait or something. Oh, sneaky. Oh, you got one on there before it unfolded. Okay, so let's see what's on Dune here. Yep. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, I'm gonna move the sandworm actually, so I'll move it this way to threaten that piece that was down there. Cool. Okay. Uh-oh. Okay. Oh, okay. So you move the sandworm again. Okay. Got you. Okay, well, I don't want that guy to die, so I'm gonna move up here. So I just moved on Dune. So it's your go, Jan. Are you? Oh yeah, Jan is hell bent on that guy being killed. So I'm actually just gonna move him. That actually opens up kind of not well, actually not really an opportunity because if I move there, I'll probably die in the next one. So I'm gonna move this way to down here. I think that's probably the best way to do it, right? Yeah. Move from there to there. All right, so here you go, Jan. Check her rackets. Oh, New York is boring. Oh shit! Oh, you're moving your. Oh shit! Okay. Yeah, that guy's gonna get captured one way or the other. Okay, so what I'm probably gonna do is fuck up some other shit. I don't know. I want to get my queen on there, but I'm not sure how to do that. I should crowdsource some chess advice. Is Josh Sherman here?
I do not believe that Josh Sherman is here. I think Josh Sherman is still AWOL.
God
Funny
damn,
how
bro.
Josh manages to disappear whenever there might be a real test of his chess skill.
Right. All right, so it's all you, Jan. Good deal. Oh yeah, queen to match queen. I think though I'm going. Well, if I capture that queen, my queen's just gonna get captured too. So I say we call a truce, and I'm gonna fold this way so that queen can't make a move on me. Okay, there's your king, and I think. Oh shit, I did it wrong because I could if I had the queen there, I could have just like checked your king, but that sucks. Oh well. You know what? Fuck it. Check. Except now the board is gonna unfold anyway, so it doesn't really matter because they're not gonna she's not gonna be unchecked on Arrakis, so I don't think so anyway. Nope. And actually my queen is killed because she landed on the worm, so that was smart of me. Nice. So your go, Jan. A highly risky maneuver there. Okay, oh there's your king. Okay, oh shit, you're gonna get there before me. Fuck. Damn it. I'm gonna put this guy here then. Except he's gonna be then eaten by the worm probably, but oops. Okay, well at least now it's gonna be harder to put the king there without threatening him, because I can move the worm too. Alright, let me see. In fact, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna move the worm here. The king can't go there. Ooh. Now it's a race to I guess to get the king fuck out. Or whatever. Oh, you moved the queen. Okay. That being the case, that is game over because the worm does not respect check. So you die. So bye bye. Yay, I win. Yay, and that's that, I guess. One fair and square. Thanks for playing, Jan. That was a really well. He who controls the spice controls the universe. That's right. Fucking right. That was a real bumbling fiasco, kind of. It was fun though.
Man, so
It was
you
truly a Dune.
you
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
you definitely have to play that with the special effects on because
No, yeah, definitely. It's
they are tremendous. I
yeah,
I love the fucking spaceship that flies across the screen and the like
yep,
semi-transparent like cloud effects. The whole thing has like the vibe of like a of like a shareware game from like 1993 or something. And I really
yeah,
dig that the visual aesthetic. This must have been an absolute motherfucker to code with the folding board, with a double-sided board that you can fold in order to like terraform the space. That must have been a real bitch to put together, I imagine.
yeah. It was really difficult to do that. And the worst thing about it, like, so in the physical version, like the thing would fold, like a piece of paper could fold multiple times, right? So it can fold over itself, you can fold it under, and then flip it and fold it again. But I didn't do any of that, and even still, it's still different. Like you can only fold this one in, basically, right?
Oh, right,
But
right.
so this one doesn't fold like a regular piece of paper, and I think that's actually better because like it's too complicated in real life. The
Yeah,
real
I
physical
would
version
think that
is
because
very,
like
very
when you have
complicated.
multiple layers of folds, that that does seem fairly complicated.
Yeah, it sucks, but yeah, it sucked to program it. It was yeah, it's funny you should say the '90s adventure. Somebody said '90s game, but like I asked the Midjourney thing to do battle chess when I did the pieces, because that's a game I remember from the '90s. I actually had to make the pieces look like battle chess, so that's why the aesthetic and the big spaceship that covers the whole screen. Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's cool stuff. Cool stuff. So actually, Coleman is back.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Cletus.
yeah. Oh shit. Sorry. Wait, no, he's in on. Oh, Cletus. I'm sorry.
Oh
It's so
shit.
late in the
We
night.
fucked it
Anymore.
up. Uh,
Cletus is back.
It's all good.
Cletus.
And yeah, so Cletus can close out the night for us.
Hey y'all, thanks for letting me read. Sorry, I had to go clean up some vomit and some other things that weren't very fun. So, um, but this first one, it's a kind of revised version of one I read last week. Um, what I think about when I want to die. A chocolate-coated shotgun barrel. God's head in a box you sit on. My mother's moisturized hands. Her Ziploc bag of baby hairs. The dildo I use to sleep. Wings made from pipe cleaners. And this is about faith, being agnostic, struggling with faith, I guess. So this is called Agnostic. I kneel under a question mark and suck its penis. I don't know if the sky is blue, only that's what it looks like. Intellectually, I'm kind of a pussy. You can't be wrong about anything if you're open to every possibility. When I go to hell, demons will cleave me in half. One side will feel pain, the other will just feed a tree. And that's all for me. Thanks a lot.
Holy shit, man. Holy shit. Every time you read, I'm just in awe of your skill as a poet. And that's not me gushing over you. That's me being authentic here. So I feel authentically called out by the agnostic poem because like that is listen, like I'm very much someone whose life is defined by doubt. And the way that you like and who even like fetishizes doubt to to a point up to a degree, right? And the way that you the like self-effacing way you approach doubt in that poem, like as this thing that's like fundamentally degrading, as opposed to like this intellectual virtue, right? It's so good, and every image in that in that poem is like more wonderfully degrading and than the last, except the final one. And I love that final image, like going to hell, being cleaved in half, and having like one half of you tortured by demons, right? And having the other be like just like go back to the earth, which is like that's like the fundamental paradox of agnosticism, right? It captured in this one very concise, very beautiful, well, beautiful in a way image, right? So that's wonderful. And speaking of wonderful fucking images, I oh my God, the fucking chocolate coated shotgun barrel that opens your other poem is, I think, one of my favorite first lines in one of your poems. And that whole poem is full of like wonderfully sketched and also deeply conflicted images. And in terms of like a poem about like death and about the final moments of life, it really captures like the like fraught complexity of life. But man, I'm never going to get over the chocolate coated shotgun barrel. That is just a wonderful mental image. All right,
Thanks a
thank you,
lot.
man.
Thanks. Thanks a lot. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, thank you. And as is and as is usual at this point in the night, I have to go to the bathroom. So we're going to end it here. That cane soda did not do me any fucking any favors. So we're going to end it here. This has been Misery Loves Company. It's another great night, guys. Thank you to everyone who read tonight. And of course, I made the mistake I always make, which is I closed the readers list early. But thank you, Coleman. Fuck. Thank you, Cletus. Thank you, Kat. Thank you, Rudy. Thank you, Bizarre. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Josh, even though you cut out early on us here. Um, and thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Jan, warged into Rudy. And yeah, and it's been a great night. We do this every Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. Anyone is welcome to come and share their work. Anyone is welcome to come and just hang out. If you would like to attend, we tweet out the link a few minutes before we begin from our Twitter account at Misery Tourism, all one word. That's it, guys. Fuck it. We're done. Thanks so much for reading. Thanks so much for hanging out here. All right, fuck it.